right, so let's call to order the HHS meeting of June 15th. Let's see, physical quorum is not present, so under 70 of OMA, members can participate virtually. Requisite officers are present at regular meeting location, online, in-person public comment is provided for with all protocols that are in the room. All of our votes will be roll call votes. Roll call, please.
Chair Renahan,
Here.
Vice Chair Swarzy,
Here.
Member Solomon, Member Chaplin,
Here.
Member Desart,
Here.
Member LaPlante.
Here. Great. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
All right. I just want to remind everyone to sign up for the golf outing. Vice Chair Schwarzy, have you signed up yet?
When is it?
I donated.
It's June 26th.
It's
Thursday the 24th.
Oh, Thursday the 24th. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mary. And so also regarding the DuPage Care Center Foundation, they have announced their fall festival for September 18th, and they are currently doing collections for their garage sale. So you probably have gotten an email on that, but just as an FYI. And with that, I would like to turn it over for a 211 update with Mary Keating and Gina. Patrick.
Might you sit at the table?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Joe, can you pull the slides up, please? So for those of you who haven't met Gina, this is Gina Strecker-Ahmed. She's our administrator of intake and referral. And actually, Gina serves as the president or executive director of 211 Illinois.
I've just been stepped down from president for a little bit. Needed a little break.
So she's president of 211 Illinois. And so she's really our resident expert on 211. But so we're going to kind of tag team this presentation. Member Renahan asked if we just kind of do an update on what is 211 and where are we hopefully headed with it. So just a reminder, it's an easy to remember number that connects people with essential community services, social services. Our information referral unit currently does exactly what 211 does, except we're not available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So but our staff are specially trained to identify the various needs that individuals have. So if someone calls and just says, I just want to know where the food pantry is, we'll do if they'll give us the time, typically they will. We'll ask them some more questions and really, how about energy assistance or any other needs that they might have. Again, 211's available 24/7. It's been around since 1997 and it's in all 50 states. Illinois is kind of a slow adopter, right? Gina?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the metro area, Lake, McHenry, and Kane currently have 211 service. Will County had it until last year.
I didn't have 211, but they had a 24/7 crisis line.
But they didn't have the
Didn't have
actual
211.
So they still had to dial 10 digits or
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah, so the way 211 works is the phone company basically directs from any phone line, it directs to whatever the local 211 provider is, similar to how 911 would work. So you can go. Gina's going to talk about the kind of what it means to be a 211 provider, what sort of standards have to be met.
So as you can see, these are the major standards that we have to comply with to become a 211. So you have to have a software, of course, to record calls and to have a database. We're very fortunate. We have DuPage Chris, which is updated annually. It's a great product and we use it currently. So we're one leg up there. You have to have ACD phones, call distribution phones, which county has, and we just have a brand new system. And that's another ace in the hole for us. Telemetrics, so essentially is reporting on the calls. You have to be able to report on what calls type of come in, and how many abandoned, so we can look at quality metrics and such. We have to have barrier-free access. So if you're calling and speaking Urdu, Hindi, Chinese, we are able to have translators or interpreters for that. The state board requires that to be a 211 provider, you have to be accredited, and that's through the Alliance of Information Referral Systems, and that has to be done within the first 5 years of applying for being a 211 call center. And then staff have to be certified. So they're studying, they're taking a test, they have a credential that says that they know what they're doing. And then finally, you have to have a public facing database. Because your software database may not have to be public, but you have to have one so the community can search if they have a difficulty calling in, or if you just want to update, have folks be able to get updates on their own about services and resources. So those are the main components of how a 211 has to.
A couple things on the certification. For years, we have been certifying our staff
Okay. That's what I was gonna
with
say.
AIRS, and so it's a
And
two-year
that's the same
certification.
certification as they.
Same certification. And I think the important thing to understand about our information and referral staff is that I think sometimes people think they're just kind of switchboard operators and then, just giving out phone numbers, and that's really not at all what they are. They're very highly trained in, first of all, just the gamut of services that are available both through the county and with our external partners, as well as sort of understanding how to speak to people in crisis, how to gather information from people who are, like I said, they think they're looking for just one thing, but there's really a lot that we can assist with. So you can go to the next one, Joe. In terms of costs, these are cost estimates. The first being the database and phone integration. Obviously, DuPage Chris and the county's phone system have to have some sort of integration and communication. And so the one-time fee we think will be about $20,000 to get that integration happening. That really is a scientific guess, I think, right, Gina?
Yes.
And then the annual fees associated with that would be things like fees for chat service, texting, because we want to be able to, we want folks to be able to access us through whatever means most comfortable. So if they want to text us, they can text. If they want to live chat on the web, or if they want to call. And then obviously for anyone who's using those services, there's annual licensing. The AT&T landline, that's the cost of AT&T reprogramming all of the landlines in DuPage County to point to us as the 211 call center. In terms of staffing, the way we envision staffing this is a little bit of an expansion of our regular hours of our current information and referral staff, and then the evenings and weekends being taken up by the Addison call center. We've had conversations with them. I guess it was all via Zoom pretty much, so maybe it was early last year, I don't remember. But we've reached back out to them. They're very interested in partnering with us to be the 211 call center. But we believe that we would still need to beef up a little bit of our own staffing, especially in that first probably year, until we really get a feel for the call volume and how, what the additional burden is, particularly those overnights where we don't really know what the call volume would be. So we anticipate a contract. I think the contract that they submitted about a year ago was between 160 and 180,000, depending on the hours that we were asking them to operate. So we've put in about 200,000 for an annual cost. And then the AIRS accreditation, that's sort of a one-time. I think it happens every
5 years.
Yeah. So the reason that we're really we've been talking about it a lot is because I am hopeful. Actually, go to the next slide. I believe that the implementation of 211 would be an eligible expense under the ARPA funds. We're helping people get connected to social services, financial assistance, the kinds of things that people need in order to recover, both from a health perspective as well as an economic recovery perspective. So really next up on my to-do list is including 211 implementation in the department request for the ARPA state and local recovery funds. The rest of these to-dos are on Gina's list, so she'll talk about those.
But currently, we are working with IT to see how we can get the Mitel phone system, TIG, to interact with WellSky, which is the HMIS system that we have.
That's the database.
That's our database, and which also contains DuPage Chris. So I think they have a meeting this Thursday to see if they can iron some things out. We're hoping they can. If not, it's still possible. It's just going to work just a little different. I have talked to the ACDC folks, and she's meeting with her supervisors today, Dolores Tennis, right?
Tennis. Teams.
She's because I asked her to give us another piece of the proposal of maybe expand what the cost effectiveness would be to cover more hours instead of us paying the staff to be here. Just have some ideas on what those costs would be. So she's going to get back to me hopefully by the end of the week. We are currently in the midst of looking at all of our procedures and processes so that we align with the AIR standards so that we could apply for accreditation even if we weren't 211. So that's a process that my hope is by the end of the year, we will get that done and be able to apply no matter what. And then applying to the state 211 board is essentially, we're telling the state that we're going to do this and giving them a time frame and filling out a form. And that could be 30 to 90 days, depending on when we can get the board to meet, because the board has to approve that. And that won't be an issue. It's just the fact that you know how boards are, right? And then completing the AIR's accreditation process. If we do become a 211 call center, we have 5 years to do it. But my hope would be is that we're going to do it anyway, because I think we have a program that's excellent. And that's just going to put a stamp on it that, yep, we got this. So that next step to 211 will be easy.
Right. So in terms of time frame, I think for implementation, I think realistically we're looking at 2022 as a startup. I think one of the benefits of that is that we could potentially be looking at beginning to receive those funds in the second allocation of the ARPA state and local recovery funds. I know there's some timing with some of the funding, so this is absolutely one that we could tee up to do in 2022. That's basically where we are with 211 implementation, what our thoughts are. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. Sorry, I had my back to those.
Member Chaplin?
Thanks so much, Chair Renahan, and thanks so much, Mary and Gina, for the great presentation. Such a great program. I think it's really, like you said, coming out of the pandemic, it's going to be so needed. My only question is, you talked about the Addison call center taking some calls, Mary. So would you guys go, because is that just a regular 911 call center over there in Addison that would be taking those calls then?
Yes, it would be. Yeah, it would be the 911 center in Addison. Our initial thought is that we would actually have a staff person there, at least for probably about 6 months, both from a training perspective as well as a call volume perspective. Yeah, it makes the most sense just in terms of operationally for us to do this internally and basically have to have the lights on in this building 24/7, have to have security in this building, have staff in this building. Our thought was, let's partner with someone who's already available 24/7.
No, that's great. I just wanted to make sure, because I just want to make sure you're going to have the people there to train them. So I think that's a great idea. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited. You know, Mary asked us to place this question on our budget survey, you know, if the citizens support this or not. So, you know, if you're out there, let everybody know to support this. It's a really great initiative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments from the committee? Yeah, I just want to say thanks both of you. And Mary had said right off the bat, this is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And before she had said that, how do we know we would have a perfect storm, right, of a pandemic, a tremendous amount of funding we need to get out to help people. I think this is really spot on in terms of what we can do, and have Gina, to have your expertise, I think is just great. So hope we can all get behind supporting that.
And in times of disaster, I mean, how great would it be if we had flooding and say, hey, here's call 211 for your shelter for more information.
Right.
And now they're calling a lot of people just to get.
Right. Well, in a lot of places in the country, 211 is really kind of ramps up during times of natural disaster or, you know, train derailment, whatever, you know, anytime you need to get people information on a quick basis. It's an easy to remember phone number. You can get information out really quickly. So it's a tremendous asset to the communities that have it. And as Chair Renahan said, I'm hoping the stars are aligning now so that we can really get this up and running.
thanks also to our Vice Chair Schwarzy, our ETSB Chair. I think we
Mhm.
kind of do have a good
We're
team
all on the
here.
same page,
Yeah.
so this is good.
It's exciting.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you so much. With that, I will ask for a
Chair?
motion to approve. Oh, I'm sorry. Member Desart?
Yeah, thank you. Just procedurally, do you need to take a vote to allow those of us who are remote to participate in the meeting?
I don't think so because we don't have a physical quorum.
Right. That's why you're doing everything.
That's right.
So, all right, with that, I'll take a motion to approve the Health and Human Services minutes of Tuesday, June
So
1st.
moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any additions, corrections to the minutes? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. Those are approved. I will take a motion to approve FIR 30621, acceptance appropriation of Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Service Access and Visitation Grant, PY 22, $102,000.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved. I'll take a motion to approve HHSP 29321, county contract to Benovate Inc., DBA Neighborly Software Support Grant Application Management with Community Development Division, July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. Contract total $45,000.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Mary, could you just say a little bit about
Yeah.
this one?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So this is software that'll be used by our community development division to accept and review applications for community development block grant funds, home affordable housing funds, emergency solutions grant funds. So all of the grant funds that we manage through HUD will be used, this software will be used for. This software was actually industry specific in its development. It was developed by people who used to work with the CDBG program. So it's extremely useful for our purposes. A benefit to this is that it can be used for any sort of grant application and review and reporting process. So I've already mentioned to the folks in finance that with those ARPA state and local recovery funds, if the county does decide to do some sort of application portal for municipalities or townships or other organizations that are seeking funds, there should be no reason why we can't use this this software platform. So absolutely an asset that we'll have that the entire county can use. There would most likely be some additional charges for additional licenses if more people are using it. But in terms of having the tool that we need to accept applications and review that process, we'll have it up and running. So we're excited about it.
All right, great, thank you. I mean, what a great nugget, right? I heard it through finance and we heard it here first. I think this can be a great help getting that money through. So any questions or comments additionally on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante, Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, that is approved. Take a motion to approve HHSR 30721 resolution approval for a second modification to CDBG agreement with Little City Foundation, reducing scope of work, reducing funding $11,390, and extending project completion date to October 31st,
So moved.
2021.
Second.
Questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Hi, that's approved. I'll take a motion on HHSR 30821. This is a first modification of CDBG agreement with Ray Graham Association, renovation of Circle, Hale and Elm CILAS, project number CD24, reduction in scope of work and funding by $70,817. For the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments? This is a reduction of $73,817. I wasn't sure when I read it. Okay, great. Roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante. Member LaPlante,
Aye.
and Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, that's approved. I'll take a motion to approve HHSR 30921, cancellation of ESG CARES Act agreement with Prairie State Legal in DuPage County, reprogramming $25,500 in funds.
So moved.
Second.
All right, questions or comments here? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved, and then I'll take a motion to approve HHSR 31021, approval for transfer of ownership and assumption of the Home Investment Partnerships Program Requirements Agreement between the Blue Stem Housing Partners, NFP Finley Housing Partners, and Trinity Services for project number HM 144 Finley Supportive Housing.
So moved.
So moved to start.
Second.
Give it to Don.
I think so. All right,
Someone else a chance here.
questions or comments on this item? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved. I'll take a motion to approve HHSP 29421, contract with DV John Inc. to deliver ostomy, tracheostomy, urological, and enteral supplies and services. Med B, enteral feeding formulas for the care center, July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022, not to exceed $112,572.
So moved to start.
Second.
Did I beat Schwarzy this time?
You
Yes.
did. I tried to give it to you last time, but
Okay, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Schwarzy.
aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, that's approved. I'll take a motion to approve HHSP 29521, American Bottling Company for beverages and fountain for the cafe on campus, July 30, 2021 to July 29, 2022, not to exceed $50,900.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, wait, let's see. Questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved. I'll take a motion to approve HHSP 29621, contract with Standard Companies for trash can liners of DuPage Care Center for 2-year period, June 23rd, 2021 through June 22nd, 2023, not to exceed $146,645.
So moved.
Schwarzy,
Second.
Chaplin, questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Hi. That's approved. Moving on, I'll take a motion to approve change order HHSP 83A20 amendment to resolution with Echo Lab for laundry chemicals for the care center, April 24th, 2020 through April 23rd, 2021, to add items to the bid that were discontinued and to increase in the amount of $3,000, not to exceed $32,000.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments on this one? I guess, Janelle, looking at the dates, April 24th, 2020 through April 23rd, 2021.
It's just for the final invoice from the contract.
All right, any questions, comments additionally? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. That's approved, and then we have some care center requests for parent committee final approval. Take a motion to approve 2021-56, a contract with RXCM for supplies fast pack elite medication dispensing machine, August 16, 2021 through August 15, 2022, not to exceed $26,500.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Chaplin, questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy.
Aye.
Member Chaplin.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, that's approved. Motion to approve 2021-57 contract with Alco Sales and Service Co. for wheelchair parts, supplies, and accessories for the care center, 2-year period, August 6, 2021 through August 5th, 2023, not to exceed $26,430.33.
So moved to start.
Second.
To start, Schwarzy, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye, that's approved. Moving to consent items, I will entertain a motion to approve consent item, which is a change name from McKesson Medical Surgical Minnesota Supply to McKesson Medical Surgical Government Solutions LLC, and decrease encumbrance in the amount of $1,139,588.38 for prime supplier for Gen Med supplies, January 15, 2021 through January 14, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Schwarzy, Chaplin, questions, comments here? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante. Chair Renahan.
Aye, that's approved. I'll take a motion to combine informational items 10A, B, and C.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on combining or concerns? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante. Chair Renahan.
Aye, those items are combined, so I will take a motion to approve GPN 4321, Access and Visitation Program, PY 22, $102,000 for community services. GPN 4621, Aging Case Coordination Unit Grants with Northeastern Illinois Area Agency on Aging, $5,217,236 for community services. And finally, GPN 4921, an Emergency Solutions Grant, Illinois Department of Human Services, for community services, $396,223.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All right, questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Member Schwarzy,
Aye.
Member Chaplin,
Aye.
Member Desart,
Aye.
Member LaPlante. Chair Renahan.
Aye. All right, thank you. I am not informed that we have any residency waivers, do we?
No.
No.
resolution.
Okay. Moving on, Care Center update with Janelle Chadwick. Hi, Janelle.
Morning.
Morning.
I just have a few things I'll run through. So our visitation, we continue to reopen, and our next plan that we're working on finalizing this week is to have 25 visits in the AM and 25 visits in the PM. These would be on-unit visits, so letting families come to the actual unit on a more frequent basis. Again, we're still under that huge amount of staff involvement in getting people up and down. So, but the team has really put together a great plan, and we're excited to continue to open up further. The Cna class, we have final is 3 internal, 1 external. So we're moving on that. It's an 8-week class. Interestingly enough, we had more external that wanted to participate, and we could have accommodated them, but their employer would not let them come to another entity to go to school. So I thought that was interesting. We may have to figure out how we can address that issue going forward. We are obviously working on budget as is everybody else. We did finalize some details to our request for the American Rescue Plan, so you'll be hearing more about that. We're very excited that I can't say enough about facilities management and the team and the architect group in working on our proposal. I'm very pleased with the outcome. We did receive a 44-page OSHA document on somewhat similar items to IDPH. It almost feels like they're about 6 months behind. Now they're expecting us to do all these things that we kind of got away from based on IDPH regulations. So we're going through that document just to make sure we're able to comply with all of those criteria. And the last thing is our census is growing. We're starting to see an uptick in business. It's been very busy. So if that continues, then that's a good thing for us all. Just takes a lot of effort on the part of the admissions staff and the nurse liaison that does all the assessments, but they've been doing a great job. That's my report. Questions, comments?
Okay, thank you, Janelle. You just keep going, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know, just so the committee knows, we've talked a lot about getting people over there for tours. It doesn't sound like this is quite the time yet. We're not even getting families in there, but in due time, definitely want to.
Great. Yes. Excited to have everybody.
Thanks, Janelle.
Yes. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All right, Mary Keating, back to you.
Okay. I have a few things. We have a lot going on in community services. I I have really great news to report on the rent assistance program. As of June 9th, 3,917 applications have been initiated by landlords in DuPage County. 2,249 had been completed by the tenants. Now those applications still need to go through a review process, but those 2,200 applications accounted for over $23 million in requests for past due rent. So again, they all have to go through a review process, but that's incredible. And actually, as of last week, Ida had cut just under $1 million worth of checks to landlords already, just in DuPage County, just in DuPage.
And how much is that budget, that entire
We
amount?
sent them 26 million. For the entire state, I think Ida is managing around 800.
So DuPage has 26 million.
At least, if we exhaust our funds, we'll then dip into the state funds.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Wow.
DuPage residents get first priority for the DuPage funding.
Do you foresee any problems with the follow through checking to see if they qualify, that sort of stuff? Or?
What they told us was at first cut, 50% of the applications were going right through. 50% had to have some additional information, which I think is not actually, that's a pretty good, I think that's a pretty good approval rate, given the amount of information that both landlords and tenants have to upload. So at that rate, then we would know that we'd be at about $11 million, almost $12 million already approved. So yeah, so that's really exciting news. Illinois Department of on Aging, as of yesterday, is requiring our APS, Adult Protective Services staff, to return to 100% face-to-face services. We were doing initial investigations face-to-face, and then everything else follow up on the phone, but we're 100% back in business with APS. We're also hearing rumblings that the case coordination program, the community care program, which is the largest program that we run, the state had initially told us not to expect to return to seniors' homes until probably October, but I think that timeline has been significantly accelerated. We're hearing rumors that it might be July 1st, but we haven't heard anything official. So obviously that means, kind of revamping what, going back to the way we used to operate. So, and we actually have a couple staff who've never actually done a home visit because they started during the pandemic. So that will be kind of an interesting challenge for them. Today, you'll notice that Gina and I have color coordinated. That's because it is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And purple is the color of that commemoration. So this afternoon at 3:30, if you can throw something purple on and take a picture of yourself, you can use the hashtag WEEAD 2021. So that's for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Or you can @ us at DuPage County Community Services on Instagram and Facebook for both of those. And then just an update sort of on the budget schedule. Janelle and I have our general fund budgets are due to be submitted to finance by July 2nd. And so we'll be taking either the July 6th meeting or the meetings in August to review our general fund budgets with parent committees. So typically what we've done is I take the first meeting in August, Janelle takes the second meeting in August so that she has a little bit more time. Her general fund budget is significantly more complex than mine. I'm sure you're aware of the finance committee meetings that'll be discussing the ARPA funding. Just a reminder, so for community services, we'll have some of our requests, but a small portion of our requests will come through on July 13th. That will be any capital related requests. And then August 10th will be, I think, dedicated to community services, both from a programmatic, internal programmatic needs, as well as external supports. One of the things I'm going to do on August 10th is do a full presentation on the full range of additional funding that's coming to be managed either directly or indirectly by the Department of Community Services, which is a whopping $90 million. So
How much?
90 million. So I think it's really important for the full board to have the context of our ARPA request and how it relates to the other funding that we're working with. Those are my updates.
Okay, best juggler around, Mary. I mean,
You make it seem so easy.
Piece of cake, it's a walk in the
yeah,
park.
but I gotta say, I mean, great job, you and Joan, and obviously getting the word out to every nook and cranny about to get this rental assistance. Well, because there was, but there was a lot of concern, right, about whether that was gonna get spent out, and just seeing the success in such a short amount of time. I mean,
Right, yeah, it's
wow.
amazing.
You out of money before you know it.
I mean,
Well, and when, you know, the relief that we didn't try to do it internally. I mean, you know, when I saw those numbers, I was, you know, and I shared them with the staff, they're like, oh my God, thank God we didn't try to do this on our own.
It's like crying emoji.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's sad that there's a need out there, but it's great that we can,
Right,
match.
yeah, what an impact that'll, and even just $1 million going to landlords in the last week. That's a, you know, huge relief for the families and great support for the landlords, so.
Yes. All right, well, I guess, any questions, comments for Mary additionally? Okay, old business, do you have any old business? And new business? Okay, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Shorzy,
Aye.
member Jefflin,
Aye.
member DeSarge, member LaPlante,
Aye.
Chair Renahan.
Aye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.